Let's have a conversation about who Donald Trump appeals to. He has to appeal to someone. I know he appeals to many people. The question is why? Why does he appeal to the people that he appeals to? First, I want to say that he's doing us a great service from an evolutionary standpoint, because he's the archetypal shadow. And as the archetypal shadow, he's bringing up the collective shadows, our individual shadows that we have banished. Right? So he's doing a service, but not in a healthy, loving, building, collaborative, cooperative way. He is the archetypal destroyer. Many people believe that he is the chosen one. In a sense, he is. He is in the sense, not in the sense that most people are thinking. He's not here to lead us back to the good old glory days of a white nation. Well, where white people ruled, black people stayed in their place, women stayed in their place. Not those days, not those segregation days. No, we're beyond that now. We're not going back there. That's nonsense. That's mental illness. We're moving forward. We're evolving now as a species. He's acting as the destroyer, destroying all the sickness, right? By bringing up the shadow, we can either integrate it. That's the healthy way, to integrate it, or be destroyed by it. He's a Gemini, and an imbalanced Gemini, the twins, right? So he's coming to this incarnation already fragmented and possibly not aware of it based on his behavior, that he has an aspect of fragmentation. So those that appeal to him possibly carry that energy of fragmentation, not having integrated their shadows. He behaves like a bully, a narcissist. So he appeals to people who feel that they have been victimized in some way, because he feels that. Right? And that brings up the bullying. People who feel like they are powerless in some aspect in their lives. And then Donald Trump comes along and has this bravado of, in your face, I will destroy anything that stands in my way. Anyone that tells me no, I don't like to hear no, I will destroy them. I will call them names. And there are many people who follow him that have that vibration. In the world, in their workplace, they can't say, you don't tell me no, I will destroy you. So Donald Trump says it for them. Like Donald Trump, they are living in the cesspool of their shadows. Rather than deal with their shadows, integrate them, befriend them, get to know them, to see how their shadows are working in their lives, they are blaming other people for their own inability to deal with the aspects of themselves that they find disgusting. Because all of these behaviors that Donald Trump is projecting in the world are what we would call disgusting behaviors. Locking little children up in cages, making sexist remarks about women, assaulting women physically, right? Name calling, bullying, calling other men weak because they won't agree with him. Anyone who doesn't agree with him, he calls them names. And people who appeal to that kind of behavior, that is because they resonate, that vibration resonates with them. They've experienced some kind of trauma in their lives where they've felt powerless, weak, and wanted revenge, and were not able to deal with maybe the hurt. And then we have this man who tramples on others, who he perceives as hurting him. But they're not hurting him. They're touching on his undeveloped ego. Hence another point. People who find him appealing also have undeveloped egos. Someone touches their vanity or their self-righteousness or the illusion of knowing everything or their entitlement, idea of being entitled, or people who are living in fear want to go back to the good old days where they thrived, right? Where they reigned as king or queen. They had status. Their country was majority white. Now we have all these people, brown people coming in, populating, being president. What has gone wrong with the United States? The black man is president. Women want their rights. Gays are getting married. This was a Christian nation, which is another thing. Christianity practice in this day and time is not of God in many cases, instances. It's not being interpreted as such. It's being interpreted as hateful, cruel, discriminatory. That is what appeals to you. Donald Trump is reflecting back to you the issues, the trauma, the hurt, the pain, the sickness that is within you. He showcases it on a national stage. And people who like that may be unaware that it's something deep within them that gets off on it. It's not that he's doing great things for the country, but that's what you're telling yourself. You're convincing yourself he's doing great things for the country. He's wanting to build a wall to keep those people out. What are those people doing? Nothing. You're blaming them. See, people who appeal to his rhetoric are not dealing with their own sense of inadequacy. And instead, rather than deal with their own sense of inadequacy, they want to blame someone or something outside of themselves as the cause of why they're not where they thought they should be or want to be or don't have it in their lives. But we create our own reality based on our own choices and decisions. Right? This lawlessness appeals to people. It's not like the economy is great, right? He tells lie after lie after lie. What about that appeals to you? That you can condone it? You don't question that? How can I condone his pathological lying? His university, fraudulent. How can that appeal to you? What about that behavior appeals to you? Appeals to your sense of right and wrong? Question that. His bullying and name calling. What about that appeals to people that it appeals to? Think about it. It's something that resonates deep within you if his behavior, his character appeals to you. That shadow energy resonates with you. It's within you. He is not the cancer. He is the symptom. This dysfunction has always been a part of the United States of America. But we've denied it. We've ignored it. We've called it other things. We've blamed black people who called out racism. We've called people ignorant and stupid and lazy. Why? That's a projection. Look within yourself. See what within you relates to that dysfunctional behavior. Ask yourself, if he appeals to you, why? Why? Do you think you deserve something? No one's entitled to anything in this world. Can you not stand to have people say no to you? Do you think you have a right to do whatever you want? Is your life out of control, and instead of dealing with what's going on within you, you're seeking a solution outside of yourself by wanting to control other people and things you can't control because you can't deal with life as it is? That appeals to you because that's what he does. He can't deal with someone saying no, someone disagreeing with him. It's immature. So some aspect of you is immature, ego undeveloped. You have shadow aspects that mirror his. You're not dealing with your anger and your fear and your sense of smallness because he has to exaggerate. Because internally, he actually feels small. Who does Donald Trump appeal to? if he appeals to you, his behavior, his total disregard for Mother Earth, for the climate crisis, his total disregard for cooperation and collaboration, his me sense of ego and unconsciousness, that appeals to you? Ask yourself why. Why? What about you is like him? What about you is like him? What about him is like you? Who does Donald Trump appeal to? Good question. Good question. Well, thank you for your time. Who loves you? I sure enough love you. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.